Good morning. It looks like it's about 11 o'clock. Not sure whether I can't see my clock from here, and that's not always a bad thing. So, first of all, while we're waiting for a few people to get online and be on the Facebook Live, what kind of a week have you had? Has it been a really good one, or have things been kind of interesting? It's been very interesting for me because we flew back to Bali, and so I'm here. I forgot the tripod that goes with, that I use to hold my phone, so it's propped up on my computer, and it may or may not fall. If it falls, we just will pick it up and continue on. So, at any rate, I also have another confession. I published the oils that we would be using, and as I was collecting them, I found that I didn't have them all in my house in Bali. So I am substituting. I'm doing what Gary Young said and what each of you can do at any time. If you don't have what you think you need, then use whatever you have. So the oils that I decided on finally today were lavender, and we'll go over why I chose these particular oils as well as other things. Awaken, brain power, and tranquil. So if you have those oils, you may choose to use them, or you may choose to use whatever you have. And I also may choose to put in a few extra oils, as you know I always do. So what we will do first today is remind ourselves of what we did last week. Now, last week we focused on forgiveness of self and forgiveness of others. Did any of you take the time to, reflect upon that? And use your oils, and how did you feel afterwards? So that was, of course, in my series of Grow Actively Refining Yourself, my G.A.R.Y series. I've thought of some more things this morning, which I was really excited, and I will share in a few minutes. But the next thing that we are talking about is the second step. The first one is that huge one, because it is to clear the blocks. And that's the blocks at the physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual levels, and energetic levels. So we all have blocks. As long as we're here on the planet, we will always have some more things that can be refined. And that's what this is all about, refining ourselves. So today we're going to take that second step. So first we're going to clear those blocks. Does anyone remember the oils that we used? The main oil was geranium, and any of the blends that contain geranium. So today we're going to focus upon structure. And the structure glyph is a purple, and it's anchored by lavender essential oil. So I'm going to apply the lavender all over me. I love lavender. What is lavender used for normally? If you answered, if you thought everything, you're absolutely right. Lavender is considered the universal oil, that it is never wrong to use lavender. And it is interesting that it anchors this energy of structure, which is building our perfect energy flow for healthy cells, healthy molecules, a healthy energy body, and a strong presence. Wow, that's essential. Would you not agree? So, as I was collecting my cards, I just have this, I always laugh because things that happen so appropriately. I was, first of all, collecting the cards, the combinations that include the structure glyph. And there are actually 6 of them that were defined. So I will go through some of those right now, or in a few minutes. But we can also support ourselves, in addition with the lavender essential oil. We can rub our amethyst stones with the lavender and energize them. If you love crystals now, I have a sphere right here. I also have on amethyst earrings and a bracelet and a ring because I love just surrounding myself with those frequencies that will support me in building my unique energy flow. And it is so important for us to understand that each of us, just like we have different fingerprints, every one of us has unique fingerprints. Every one of us has a unique energy flow that is perfect for our being. It is perfect for supporting us in being the very best that we can be. So I'm going to apply some more blends, a couple more blends. And the first one is going to be Awaken. Now, I chose Awaken, and Awaken is not one that I mentioned because Awaken is a blend of blends. It is one of those very, very special blends. And it includes joy. It also has lots of lavender in the blend, but it includes the joy blend that we used last week, present time that we also used, forgiveness, and dream catcher. So it just seemed like this was a wonderful blend when I didn't have the ones that I said that I would be using. So I'm going to use the Awaken just in my palm, and I'm going to breathe it in. And just intend that those molecules go wherever they need to go to bring about that awakening throughout every portion of my being. You may choose to just brush it over the outside of your clothes, over your arms and legs, everything, just to get that energy everywhere in your entire physical form and energy being. And we're going to intend to awaken ourselves to that next step in our refinement process. So the very first, as I mentioned, I kind of selected the combinations, which I call holograms, that had the second glyph, the structure glyph, in them, so that I would see, kind of what it might mean to me. So the first glyph, the first hologram, is air, the air combination, which is structure, and also another one we haven't been over yet called Divine Union. It's also kind of purple, if you can see. And air is all about clarity. It is associated with the mental body. So when we are running our own unique energy signatures, we have better clarity. And I thought brain power, which does also contain lavender, amazingly, the blend clarity does not. However, brain power does. So I'm going to use brain power, just a little bit. I'm going to put it on my brain stem because I would like for it to really get to my brain quickly. And I'm going to put it in my hands and breathe it in, intending that these little molecules assist me in getting clarity, in focusing better. Do you ever have days when you feel your focus and your clarity is just not there? The chances are that you're not fully grounded and running your own energy. When we have the energy of others moving through our own energy field, we often get confused. So it's so important for us to to focus upon having our own energy so that we can gain better clarity, our mental focus. So I thought of two more G.A.R.Y quotes today, and I was really excited. I was getting ready this morning, so I'm going to talk about them. Ground, actively reassessing yourself. Wow. I talk often about assessing our priorities, assessing if what we're doing right now is truly what is the most important to us. And this changes. So the second one that I thought of this morning was ground, actively refocusing yourself. Now, this to me was a big deal because most of my life I was a great planner. And some of you may be like this. And I would plan things very carefully. And I tended to be pretty inflexible because my plan was very precise. And what I found, interestingly, was that I think that my guidance, that the source, it has a great sense of humor, because I was so inflexible in everything that I did. My joints, my body was actually inflexible. All of my joints were stiff. I mean, I had been diagnosed with arthritis, spondylitis, everything, every itis around, and all that inflexibility. So refocusing sometimes requires that ability, or that to be flexible requires the ability to refocus. And as we refocus, we will be actively refining ourselves. Would you agree? So I was really excited. So first we have to assess or reassess often, and then refocus. And that's kind of scary sometimes. It's a little bit frightening to think that our plans are not necessarily what we thought. However, as we learn, and it is a learning process, to allow things to unfold, the result is far more exciting. I have had a number of people who spoke to me, who've made comments about coming to Fuller Life Bali and how I planned all of this.